Hi. 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 Hello. Oh, hi. I'm William Patrick Coleman, and welcome back to Filmbuff. I want to talk about The Monkey, director Oz Perkins' new comedy horror being released this weekend in theaters everywhere. It is produced by the great James Wans, the creator of Saw and a movie I love called Death Sentence, and based off a short story by Stephen King. Oz Perkins might be best remembered as an actor for playing Dorky David in 2001's Legally Blonde, and is great with an indie project I love that he wrote called The Girl in the Photographs. But in the cinema world, he is the son of the great actor Anthony Perkins, who would bring us Norman Bates from Psycho. So as a fellow cinema critic once said aloud, it's already an interesting subject of a father handing down his horror legacy, and that's how this movie starts off. A creepy, carefully designed robotic toy monkey complete with smile, drumsticks, and sits at a toy snare drum gets passed down, inherited by a set of twins from their father. They soon learn that the toy's curse has strange deaths, and even stranger scenarios begin associated with the wind-up of its musically timed intro, but the tremulous relationship between the brothers shift greatly as they discover more and more how to control it as they grow older. You guys might remember director Oz Perkins did a movie last year called Longlegs, which was part of the whole Nicolas Cage revival series. It was fantastic. I gave that movie a great review, and it was in my top 5 of the year. It's a clever little thriller movie that does a 90s throwback to the movies like Silence of the Lambs, Along Came a Spider, Bone Collector, and his talent is much better used then. But not even over a little 6 months later, and we have his next project. Learn to embrace the humor in this and you'll do just fine. It's what saves the movie, if anything, and that's not to say that the horror doesn't come in top notch here, because it surely does. But unlike Longlegs last summer, also directed by Oz Perkins, there is a much more comedically toned, and it relies heavily on the goofiness of its plot in general to open the door of absolute yonkers situations and bizarre characters, some of whom are played by big names slipping in to do more than a cameo role, only to be killed in a celebratory Looney Tunes type way you may or may not have seen coming. If this premise sounds familiar, it should. You'll hear Final Destination being associated with it in almost every review, but part of that has to do with the latest installment, Final Destination Bloodlines, creeping its head around the corner with a May release, the first time a Final Destination movie has been released in over 10 years. But usually horror has an identifiable killer to associate with, Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, or Michael. But Final Destination has made a great legacy off of placing the audience member into the sheer awareness of the upcoming death without seeing anybody pull the mortal trigger. The Monkey plays off to this to a slightly more confusing concept. In fact, it's never really explored or explained just exactly how the events of the monkey playing this device is associated with the events that will eventually lead to someone's death. But the issue is that the movie would have to slow down in order to do that, and when it does, these concepts begin to crack. I loved it when it began, but it hits a wall and it slows down tremendously and shifts the tone too much. The faster and punchier it was in the first 45 minutes, the more you don't have to think and you have fun with its humor first, horror second approach. But part of that, I do believe, is Theo James' miscasting, which might have had something to do with it. While he isn't necessarily a bad choice, he is interestingly wrong choice, clearly. You can tell when absolutely every character in this, from female teenage bullies to a stoner reverend, are used to a much more desirable degree, and Theo plays a set of twins to boot. A trend you're going to see continue over in April when Sinners from director Ryan Coogler is released, with actor Michael B. Jordan playing a set of twins also. The performance of these characters, if not one of the two for sure, needs to be as bombastic and loud as the ridiculous tone of the rest of the film does. I'm going to give this movie a 2.5 stars, regardless, and say that I still had a good time despite my review, and you should see this in a theater if you have any interest in seeing this at all. That's the way to truly enjoy this, and to be honest, I might have a way better time during a second viewing knowing what to expect and plot, but having fun with its humor and horror approach. The Monkey hits theaters this Friday, the 21st, with screenings across the nation the night of the 20th. Have you seen it already? What do you think about it? Comment below and let us know what your favorite death scene was. Mine involved a certain hottie getting on the diving board, and wait. I'll let you see what happens. See you next time.